What's up, everybody? This is Karen Ray, so as known as the Obsessive Gamer. Hopefully, I'm live playing more of Resident Evil 3 Classic. Let me make sure I'm live. Eat my horses. Hey, baby. Yeah, okay, I got all that. Oh, come on. Yeah. See, he's still after me. Holy shit. And he's so fast. Just give me a fucking break. He's more persistent than Steph with a girl who's not interested. Yeah. Fuck. I forgot the outcome of this choice. Let me Google this really quickly. I used to remember it, but I can't remember what it is now. And actually, hold on. I'm gonna go back some because I kind of fucked up. You see, yeah, we go this way. That made a huge pile of ammo. Let me see. I used to remember all these by heart, but it's been a few years since I played it. Okay. God. God. Like, give me a fucking break, man. And just like the sheer speed that he moves, it's just fucking terrifying. I mean, he is on your ass. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, a zombie worm. There's all kinds of like other zombie shit in this game, like spiders, giant spiders, shit like that. Fortunately, it's not just fucking zombies. God, I love the save room music in this game. Oh god. Yeah. But it's still like beautiful in a way. And it's super memorable. Resident Evil has a lot of memorable soundtrack tunes though, so and this game gets even better as you go through it. Nemesis at a certain point becomes even worse. God. Well, it's like he becomes even more like scary. So for a horror game, that is better. And the best areas in the game come in later. There's an area in this game later on that's one of my favorite areas in the entire series. You go to like the Raccoon City Park, and it's fucking amazing. It sounds like stupid, but it's like it's like a super gothic park with like a cemetery. It's really fucking cool. And probably, like I said, my favorite area in this game and one of my favorite areas in the whole series. I'm sorry, what? Oh shit, that's why. Okay. Well, that's cool. We had a cool cemetery in the smaller town that I lived in. I think so. I think this is an all-time classic game. But I love Resident Evil, so yeah. I mean, I wouldn't lie to you. Is one of my all-time favorite horror games, so... like... I'm not really sure I'm supposed to answer that, man. It's a really great horror game. If you can handle older gameplay, some people see older games and think, oh, I don't want to play them. I really like it. It's just a great horror game. It's super unique. It has a great central mechanic. Hey, Rhea. Then like it shouldn't even be a question. If you're already a fan of Resident Evil, then you should If you are already a fan of Resident Evil, then you owe it to yourself to play Resident Evil 3 if you haven't. I'm doing okay. Okay. And actually, hold on. I'll just hold that for right now. Yeah, it's great. I don't know if it is my absolute favorite in the series, but it's definitely one of them. It's up there. Um, well, like I was saying, I have a couple that I really like. I really, really love the Resident Evil 1 remake. It's like a fucking amazing. I really love Resident Evil 4 uh, and its remake. And I really love Resident Evil 7. So if I had to give you my top five Resident Evils, it would be Resident Evil 3, uh, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 1 Remake, and Resident Evil 7. Yeah, I love Resident Evil 7. It brought the series back from the dead, and I think it is fucking terrifying. The shit at the beginning, the shit at the beginning was fucking nightmare fuel. It's one of the scariest moments in any game I've ever fucking played. Shit will stay with me forever. And after fucking Resident Evil 6 derailed the entire series, 7 is what got it back on track. Like, we wouldn't have, and I would say arguably, fucking Resident Evil 7 kicked off Capcom's modern golden age. Since then, they've just followed up with, like, great game after great game, man. And it all started with 7. And most of Capcom's games, even the non-Resident Evil ones, use the engine that was made for 7. Monster Hunter Wilds, RE engine. Devil May Cry 5, RE engine. Dragon's Dogma 2, RE engine. So even like the non Resident Evil games Capcom were making were impacted by 7. Uh, I mean, in all fairness, they're both like both games kind of have imitated and copied each other. They've had a rivalry. There's plenty of like, overlap. I liked its final act. The only part of RE7 that uh, uh, the only part of RE7 I really didn't like was the shit with Mia. And not because I thought that the shit was bad. It's just I thought that it overstayed its welcome. The boat shit was too long. But then once you get into the mine, it picks back up again. But like like both uh Resident Evil uh Resident Evil and Silent Hill have piggybacked off of each other. You know, like when they fucking they were inspired to make they were inspired to Resident Evil scarier after Silent Hill came out. Like it fucking raised the bar. Shit. You know, and then like when they did the Silent Hill 2 remake, they used the fucking Resident Evil remakes as a blueprint, and it worked. But there's always been kind of like a mutual overlap. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, can you blame them? If fucking Konami wasn't gonna take inspiration, uh, if Konami wasn't gonna fucking take inspiration from PT, somebody should have. Yeah, I suck at these kinds of puzzles, but you know, it's fine. Let's see. I will also say I really, really, yeah, that's true. I mean, they have in a lot of ways. You know, like Resident Evil 7, it very much was a return to form. I mean, the shit in the mansion and the fucking like the main house is like straight up the closest to Resident Evil 1 the series has ever been outside of 1. And ultimately, you know, they're trying to move forward. They can't just go back to what they did before. You bitch. Let me see. It's the shutter is. $115 to $125. Okay, let's do the high voltage. I mean, it wasn't meant to feel like classic Resident Evil. That was kind of the point. They were trying to reinvent the series, and I feel like it succeeded. And I feel like if you judge it on its own merits, it's a fantastic game. Like just judging Resident Evil 7 as a horror game, it's hard to see anywhere that comes short. I mean, it is fucking terrifying. God, give me a fucking break, man. Yeah. Silent Hill, Resident Evil crossover. Call it the freak off. Oh, man. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to move my camera to the bottom of the screen. It keeps getting in the way of the fucking screen. It's pissing me off. That was kind of the point, though. Their dialogue was kind of meant to be over the top and campy. And I mean, let's face it. Like Resident Evil has always had a good amount of camp. I mean, there's always been a healthy helping of cheese. Don't open that door. You, the master of unlocking. So, like, the cheese in 7 didn't bother me. Because it's like, like it's not like the series that has been totally like deadpan before. Now we're having fun. Like there's always been an undercurrent of dark humor in the games. I won't leave you in a cruel Carlos-less world. There we go. Finally, fuck. Yeah, that's kind of what RE8 did, honestly. I liked 8 as well. Because it had the big village hub that was more open, and then it funneled into the mansion. Uh, the cast, or not, I'm sorry, the manor, the castle, the factory, the moat. So RE8 kind of did that, where it was more open and then funneled into smaller spaces. And I actually really like that. I actually really like the titular village. It's one of my favorite parts of RE8. All like, I actually am really excited for RE9. I mean, the fan base has been seriously divided on first person versus third person. I know there's a shit ton of people who won't even play the Resident Evil games that are first person. Like seriously, they won't even try them, which is crazy to me. Uh, uh, but they found a way to make everybody happy. Now nobody can bitch, and purists will be happy with third person. People who like 7 and 8 more will be happy with first person, and people like me who I like first person and third person is going to have a lot of fun fucking around and experimenting because you can switch at any time. So win-win. Uh and the stuff that we've seen. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't convince you, man. Like, they haven't shown that much. You know? Hold on. Let me see which way to go in this. I used to remember. I used to remember all of this shit, and now I forgot. Like, it's been a few years since I played this game. I used to remember all the live action. I play this game a lot. Yeah, and what I have seen of 9 looks great. It looks suitably creepy. I wouldn't say that. You're in an old Victorian hotel. It's nothing like the manor in 7. Uh, well, the Evil Within was fucking awesome. So, uh, Evil Within and Evil Within 2 both fucking rule. And they're actually made by the guy who did Resident Evil as a successor to Resident Evil. So, there's worse things that Resident Evil could take inspiration from than the game series made by the guy who did Resident Evil to be the new Resident Evil. Evil Within 2 is like one of my all-time favorite horror games. Yeah, let me see. I don't really think that they're running out of ideas. Uh, and I also really like the idea of returning to Raccoon City, but it's fucking bombed out. That's really cool to me. I think that's a really fresh spin. They've never had like a nuclear wasteland in Resident Evil, and it's a way to go back to the classic location where it all began, but not just be the same, because now it's 30 years later in a bombed out fucking wasteland. Like seeing the police station all like damaged and fucked up is super cool to me. So I also like the idea of going back to Raccoon City. So, I mean, I haven't seen him, but honestly, I have complete trust in Capcom that they're gonna fucking nail it. Uh, because none of the, I mean, you're free to share your opinion. Nobody's gonna get on to you for sharing your opinion. Uh, Here, as long as you're not a dick about it. That's the only thing I say. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your sexual preference is. I don't care what you identify as. As long as you're not a dick, we're fine. That's my only rule. Be civil or get kicked. So I don't care if you're saying your opinion as long as you're not a dick about it, which thus far you haven't been. So no problem with us. Plus, the fucking bitch chasing you around, whatever that thing is called, uh, is insanely scary. That giant monstrous bitch, honestly, scary. Thank you, I appreciate it. Uh, okay. Yeah, Anima, but I'm just talking about 9, the crazy, giant, grotesque fucking bitch that you've seen in the trailers. Oh, dude, you really need to play it, man. It is so good. It's super scary. It fixes all the problems from the first game. The Evil Within was great. It was super scary, but it could be rough around the edges. It ran like shit. The camera was too close. The animations could be clunky. Like Evil Within 2 fixes every problem the first game had, and it has a mixture of open hubs, like towns where you can do a bunch of side quests and linear areas, and it's fucking great. It's like almost like a sandbox take on horror that I pretty much haven't seen any other horror game do. Not even the Evil Within 1 did that, and it's fucking awesome. It's like this, like the town square, and every inch of it has got something spooky. Uh, so they managed to make the whole town scary because there's nowhere you can go where there's not some weird shit. You'll be walking down the street and enemies will come piling out of a truck. Uh, well, I have to say, as soon as your name popped up, I was kind of worried you might be a troll. You know what I mean? Uh, but I give people the benefit of the doubt. Even if I thought you might have been a troll, I wasn't gonna kick you or do anything until you proved it, and you haven't done anything. So it's just usually when you see names like "Make America Great Again" and shit like that, it's somebody trying to troll people to get a rise out of them. Uh so but yeah, I give people the benefit of the doubt. And if you had been a troll, I just would have blocked you. So no skin on my nose. But I don't just, I assume this person sucks and then block them. That's not how I operate. Uh, I assume everybody's cool until they prove otherwise. Silent Hill F, yes. I am excited for Silent Hill F. Looks really cool. And some people are like bitching about it, but they're fucking stupid. I probably won't be able to get it at launch. September is fucking nightmare for my wallet. So many games coming out in September. But I will try to get Silent Hill F. It looks really good. And like when Silent Hill 2 Remake came out, it is amazing. It was amazing. I think the Silent Hill 2 Remake was fucking outstanding. It surpassed everybody's expectations. People thought it was going to be shit. And it kind of proved them all wrong. I mean, they really did prove them wrong. It was fucking amazing. But then people were like, well, I want a new Silent Hill game. It's not just a repeat of the same old shit. So then they give them a Silent Hill game that's completely new, and it's like, oh, this is too different. And it's like, man, you can't make anybody happy. They're bitch no matter what. You complain that we're getting a redo of an old game, so then they give you a totally new game. Well, I don't have a lot of money. That therein lies the problem. I have to save up for games that I get, and September has a lot of games coming out, so it's not like a question of I want, it's a question of if I can or can't. I don't think I will have enough money. I hope, that I will, but it's kind of looking like I might not. So, I want to get it. It's just September very quickly spiraled out of control. At first, there was only Silent Hill F. That was the only game coming out in September that I wanted. So it was like, oh, that's no biggie, one game. Then Dying Like the Beast, I really wanted that. That was supposed to be in August, and then last second, they pushed that shit back to fucking September. So I'm like, okay, well, that's two. I can deal with that. And then they announced, oh yeah, Chronos, the New Dawn, the new horror IP made by the guys who did the Silent Hill 2 remake, the game I wanted because it's like a new Dead Space. Oh, we're releasing that in September, because they had previously said that they would release it in the second half of 2025, but they didn't say when. And nope, September. Oh, so it's like, then there's 3 games. Then Hell Is Us, they announced that that's coming out in September. Oh, now it's 4 games. And then finally, Pac-Man World Repack 2, which I really love the first Pac-Man World Repack and the first Pac-Man World. Oh, that's also coming out in September. So now we're up to 5 fucking games. And it just spiraled out of control. So I only have so much money to go around, so I've got to make some really hard choices. Yeah, I will play through the Evil Within games eventually, Sammy. You will see them. They're fucking great. I'm telling you. You'll love both of them. Literally, the guy who came up with Resident Evil, his name is Shinji Mikami. He's amazing. He's one of the best game directors in the industry. He left Capcom because, oh shit, we'll be here all day if I talk about that. Yes, Pac-Man World 2 is being remade. A couple years ago, they remade Pac-Man World 1, Pac-Man World Repack. Now they're remaking Pac-Man World 2, which is most people's favorite Pac-Man World. So yes. But yeah, Shinji Mikami. He left Capcom due to reasons, we'll be here all day if I explain them, and he made his own studio, and he did the Evil Within, and by extension the Evil Within 2, to be a modern successor to Resident Evil. So there's a lot of overlap between the two, because it's the same creative director. And at the time that The Evil Within came out, Resident Evil had gotten away from horror. Resident Evil 6 is often cited as the worst Resident Evil. Even though I don't think that is. It'd be like fucking Survivor or whatever. Shitty light gun game. But 6 is like not horror at all, Samantha. It's like a third-person cover shooter. They completely lost horror, and it alienated the fan base. So, oh, that's great. You'll have to let us know what you think. I'm legally obligated to shell myself and say you should like, comment, and subscribe, MAGA. Because, yeah, that is the benefit. It will only be $30. So at the time, Evil Within was made as a response to Resident Evil moving away from horror. Like, okay, you guys want more Resident Evil? Well, I'll give it to you. So, that's what it was. And then, thankfully, Resident Evil returned to horror with 7. Whether you think it feels like classic Resident Evil or not, I don't think anyone can deny that with 7, they reprioritized the scary. Which, for me, is what mattered. So, there's a lot of overlap between Evil Within and Evil Within 2, Samantha, and one of these days you will see me play through both of them. They're both great. And I've been hoping I've been hoping for years that we would eventually get. Yeah, exactly. They made the mistake that so many game makers do, so many movie makers, so many show makers. Will appeal to a broader demographic. We'll get more numbers that way. And what they do is they alienate their fan base that were the only people that cared in the first place. They think that they're going to get all the audience, and instead they wind up with none of the audience. It's what happens so many times. One of the most important things about horror, about games, anything, okay, is to know your fucking audience and cater to them, okay? The general public, the general public is not gonna wait and get your game at midnight. The general public isn't gonna play your game and get the collector's edition that costs an ungodly amount of fucking money with a statue. Okay, it's the fans. The fans should always be catered to. And every time you see a company, a movie company, a game company, a show company, say, "Oh, we're gonna stop appealing to the fans and we're gonna go to a broader demographic," it always ends badly. Because the broader demographic really doesn't fucking care. Jeez. So they, and that's, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Rhea. Okay? You do not have to make every game for everyone. Okay, I mean, it's honestly impossible. If we're being if we're being frank, it's impossible to make a game that pleases everyone anyway, so you shouldn't even try. Let me see. Yeah, well, we all make mistakes. I didn't, piss myself over a game. But I did shit myself one time. I was stranded far away from any public bathroom, and I just couldn't hold it anymore. And I had to walk several miles back home with shit in my pants, my pant leg. Oh, that was a not fun time, so, Yeah, of course it is. Of course, you're 100% right. It's tempting to them because they think, oh, we get everybody, we'll have all the money. But it never ends up that way. You know what I mean? It never ends up that way. Instead, they wind up with none of the money because they alienate the only people that did care. So many people have tried it so many times over the years, and it just doesn't work. You need to know your audience and cater to them, not fucking people that don't give a shit. Exactly. Okay, so I have the fuse, the oil, and the power cable. I think that is everything to get the fucking cable car working again. I'm 99% sure. Okay. Yes, exactly. Yes. I have played the first 3 Fatal Frames. I own the PS2 Classics version on PS3. And Rhea has also played the shit out of them. Rhea was just showing us in the Discord. I have a Discord. How he installed a texture pack for Fatal Frame 3 just the other day. Okay. It is awesome. Yeah. The second game is most people's favorites, but the whole series is great. Yeah, they have a online. You can emulate them and download a fan texture pack. That's what she means. Ah, oh, come on, you bitch. Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, they brought fucking Fatal Frame 4 and 5. I don't know why they didn't bring the first three. They should, honestly. That would make them a ton of money. And I mean, it's PS2 emulation. It's not fucking rocket science. It'd be pretty easy to just emulate the games and add in some bells and whistles, call it a day. So I don't know why. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, they could even fucking yeah, shit. They could even bring uh they could even bring them to PS4 and PS5 through the PS Classics. Shit. Yeah, I totally forgot it. Here's where you run into the fucking worm. I had fucking remembered that. Jesus, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, I mean, I just $400. Oh my god. Just don't hurt yourself, man. God, this is why I hate fucking video game scalpers. They're the worst. Somebody should hit them in the fucking nads. I remember when PS2 games were actually affordable, when old games were affordable. I mean, you know, if you think so, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you feel that way, and I won't try to dissuade you from your choice. But, yeah, I don't think it's worth it, man. Especially, like I said, for $400, dude, you could get a laptop that could probably fucking emulate them. And save yourself the fucking trouble. And, you know, at the end of the day, I believe in supporting the developers. You know, I believe in supporting the developers. If you buy this game, if you buy this game, it's not going to profit the developers, people that made the game. It's going to profit a fucking neckbeard in his basement scalping shit. Yeah, emulation has gotten to the point now where it's almost flawless. Obviously, it'll never be 100%, but it's very, very good to the point where most people can never tell the difference. PS2 emulation has been around for so long; they've really got that shit down to a fine science. It's like if you try to like emulate PS4, that's still very, very rough, very early days. But like, you know, PS2 emulation has fucking honestly been like. Oh, fuck you. Am I only supposed to run from it? Is that the mistake that I made?